Good morning, students. Welcome back to yet another class of science. We are going to continue with our chapter 6, Combustion and Flame. In the last video, we had seen how can we control fire and types of combustion. In this video, we are going to see the second half of our chapter, that is flame. Also, we will see structure of a flame. So, let's get started with today's video. So, what is a flame? We you have seen many substances gives out flame, like for example when you burn a candle or when you burn your LPG gas stove in your kitchen, that also gives you the flame. Also you can say when you burn wood, you get a flame. When you burn kerosene oil lamp, you get a flame. So there are many substances that gives out flame, but there are also few substances which does not give out flame, like for example coal or charcoal. It does not give out flame. So we will see in this video what is the reason behind that some substances gives out flame and some substances do not. But before understanding that, you should understand what is a flame. Now, a flame is a region where combustion of gaseous substances, combustion or burning of gaseous substances takes place to produce heat and light. So that is known as a flame. So flame is a region where these gaseous substances burn to produce heat and light. So that means now you can understand why some substances produce the flame and why some does not. Behind that is the substance which vaporize during burning gives flame. Like for example, a candle, it is made up of wax. Now this wax vapors rise up, that is wax is converted into wax vapor, and that rises up and burns, which gives us the flame. So that means the products which doesn't vaporize, the substances that doesn't vaporize during combustion, that gives out only the glow. They will not give out the flame, like I said about coal and charcoal. They don't vaporize, they don't convert themselves into gaseous substances, and so they will not give out the flame. But when you see kerosene oil or wax candle or LPG gas stove, they convert themselves into gaseous form, and that gaseous form vaporizes during burning, which gives out flame. So I hope you understood now the reason for giving out flame. Next thing that you can observe around you is that different colors of flame are there. Now different elements are there which gives out different colors. Also different substances, when you burn, you get different colors of flame. Like for example, in our daily life we can say burning of wood, or that gives out yellow flame, or a candle, it gives out yellow orangish flame. But when we talk about LPG gas stove, it gives out blue flame. So why is this difference in the color of different combustible substance? So that also there is a reason behind that. So what is that reason for different colors of flame? We will see that. When fuel burn, the type of flame produced depends on the proportion of oxygen available for burning the fuel. So this is the reason that why you see different colors. The type of flame is depending on the availability of oxygen. For example, when the oxygen supply is insufficient, that is not enough, then the fuels burn incompletely, producing a yellow flame. So when the oxygen supply is not proper, you will see the yellow flame, that is caused by the glow of hot unburnt carbon particles. This yellow flame is produced due to unburnt carbon particles due to incomplete combustion of fuel. And this yellow flame produces the light that you can see when you burn wood, or when you burn a candle, or when you burn a kerosene in a lamp. It burns with yellow flame. So this is the reason why we get yellow flame. Now, when the oxygen supply is sufficient, then the fuels burn completely, producing a blue flame. So this blue flame does not produce much light, but it gives us the non-luminous zone, and it takes place because of complete combustion of the fuel. So in our kitchen, the complete combustion of LPG takes place in the gas stove. So that is why we get the blue flame. So when the complete combustion takes place with enough availability of oxygen, we get a blue flame. So this is the reason why we have different colors of flame. So now, seeing the different colors and seeing the different flame, we will now study about the structure of a flame. A flame consists of three zones. In a structure of a flame, it has three zones. These are innermost zone, middle zone, and outermost zone. So there are three zones that we have in a structure of flame. Now these three zones have different colors and different temperatures. So we shall now discuss about these three zones by taking the example of a candle flame. As you can see in this diagram of candle flame, the labeling is given. We'll start with the bottom one, that is innermost zone of unburnt wax vapors, which is black in color and it is least hot. The other side, it is given the temperature wise how is all the three zones behaving. That is given on the other side. So the innermost zone is the least hot part. Then you have middle zone of partial combustion, or you can say incomplete combustion, which is yellow in color and it is moderately hot. Then you have this outermost zone of complete combustion, which is blue in color, and that is the hottest part of the flame. So in a candle flame, you get all the three zones and you can see different colors with different temperatures. So now we shall describe in detail why these three zones are formed in a candle. So we'll discuss that in detail, and also about each zone, few characteristics we will try to learn through activity also. Let's get started with the first, the innermost zone, that is the inside zone of the candle, which is also known as dark zone because there is no light over there, or there is no color over there, so it is known as dark zone. So this zone is dark black in color. So we will see a few characteristics. Uh, Also, this zone lacks oxygen and hence no combustion takes place. In this innermost zone, there is no air that reaches. So it has no combustion that takes place. It consists of, as no combustion is taking place, it consists of unburnt wax vapors. So there are wax vapors present which is not burnt because oxygen supply is not reaching this innermost zone. So it is the least hot part of the flame. So we can see that as the combustion is not taking place, it is the coldest region, or we can say least hot part of the flame. Understand this unburnt wax vapor, presence of unburnt wax vapor through an activity. You have to take a candle and you have to bring a thin glass tube. And its one end should be in the innermost zone of the flame, that is near to the wick, and the other side, just you bring a lighted matchstick to the other end of the glass tube. You will see a flame at this end of the glass tube. It means that the innermost zone near the heated wick consists of unburnt wax vapors, which when comes out from the glass tube, it burns. The combustion takes place, so producing a flame. So burning of wax vapor at the end shows the presence of unburnt wax vapor in the inner zone of the flame. So this is an activity to understand the innermost zone. Moving on to our next zone, that is the middle zone, or it is also known as luminous zone. Luminous means which gives out light. So that is luminous zone. Now the color of the zone is yellow, or you can say orangish. So here what is happening? In this zone, there is not enough air for burning. So what happens? Partial combustion takes place, or you can say incomplete combustion takes place, producing carbon particles. Now these carbon particles leave the flame and as smoke and soot. So these carbon particles are actually giving the light, because it burns and it emits light. But these carbon particles leave the flame as smoke and soot. Also, the about the temperature, when we talk about, this zone is moderately hot, and it is the major part of a candle flame. This yellow zone is consists the major part of the candle flame. Also, it is moderately hot. Medium hot means it is hotter than the inner zone. See another activity which tells us that there are unburnt particles, carbon particles present in the middle zone. You can see that when you light a candle and you bring a glass plate or glass slide near the middle zone, in the middle zone, when you keep it and for 10 seconds, and you remove the glass slide from candle flame, you can see a blackish ring formed on the glass plate. Now that blackish ring is produced due to the deposition of unburnt carbon particles present in this zone. So we can say that the incomplete combustion, because there was not enough oxygen reaching this region, because of that incomplete combustion, the middle zone produces unburnt carbon particles that you can see as the blackish ring formed on the glass slide. So that is it for middle zone. We'll move on to the last zone, that is the outer zone, or we can also call it as non-luminous zone. Non-luminous means which does not give us light. The color of the zone is blue. So we have already learned this, why we have different flames. So these are the main two reasons in candle also, that why we have two different flames. Yellow flame, it is because of partial combustion, and blue flame is because wax vapors burn completely, as oxygen is available in plenty in this region. So that means complete combustion of the fuel is taking place in this region. So we get the blue flame. Now it is also the hottest part of the flame, because it is getting enough supply of oxygen. It is also having the highest temperature in the flame. So out of all the zones, because of the plenty of air present in this zone, it is the hottest part of the flame compared to other two zones. That we can understand again. The goldsmiths using this outermost zone to blow a metal pipe, they use to blow this blue flame onto the metals for melting and molding the pieces of gold and silver or any metal into desired shapes. So they blow this blue flamed part onto the metal, because it is the hottest part, so easily you can melt the metals. So that is why they use this blue flame or blue part of the flame to melt the metals and give it desired shapes. So this was an activity to understand about the outermost zone of the flame. So we have discussed all the three zones and their characteristics, also few activities which tells their characteristics. So this is all in today's video. We have discussed flame and the structure of a flame, that is by taking the example of a candle. So this is it for students. Thank you.